Lions and Cross Watchers, welcome to our timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, fellow Pisces Moon, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president during the Circle production since 1998, 25 years in service. I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a Kindle version available. There is a link in the description box, and if you click that link, you can preview a good chunk of it for free and catch some of the prayers, principles, and practices that have kept me in business enjoying the Circle productions. But that's the Kindle version. It's very clean, it's very neat, it's very, that aesthetic. The original, though, the Fellini fantasy version, the Fellini Fantasy Festival, that I edited by my beloved editor, Jill Schweitzer, Scorpio that she is. Well, some of my subscribers get that on Patreon. Patreon.com/Drawing the Circle, the best career move I have made, seriously, in quite a while. My subscription membership platform that allows me to do all sorts of cool stuff as a mystical artist, a spiritual teacher, a spiritual counselor, a professional, blah, blah, blah. I get to do it all there, and I leave it on the dance floor on the regular. 8 levels of subscription at the time of this timeless recording. Seeker, Human, Hero, Angel, Witch, Immortal, Mystic, God, Goddess is the top tier. They get everything on the platform since I started Patreon and into the future, as long as they remain patrons. But all of my subscribers, regardless of level of subscription, get 3 things in common. All of the extended readings, the part 2s to the part 1s on YouTube, a daily check-in, unlisted YouTube live stream link so they can chat with me about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer or blessing, a little something to send us on our way. It's my favorite way to start the day, and it sets me up for everything that I do, work, career, and vocation, and it is one of my favorite things to do for surezies. And yeah, we do full moons and new moons and Sabbats, and it's all unlisted, it's all private just for my patrons. It's great. Oh, the other thing they get is a significant discount on private sessions with me, with Mal. There's a new video for all of that stuff. We'll talk about it at the end of this read if you want to hang out for it. Yeah, but come Patreon on Patreon. We're having a field day. We got a lot of Myrrh family over there, so click the link, check it out, and come Patreon on Patreon. Because I'm the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angelo Lyons. Just call me Mal. It's okay. Just call me Mal. Hi. Oh, I love being a Pisces moon. I truly, truly do. And I'm always here to serve my fishy family, my Myrrh people. Myrrh, our little not-so-secret hand sign. But if you are new to the channel, let's do a little explanation and we'll get into divination, shall we? This is really what's called a 3 levels of power reading. We're going to take one big thing called life purpose and look at it in 3 different pieces, like putting white light through a prism to get the rainbow, right? That sort of idea. I learned the 3 levels of power from Caroline Mace. That's MYSS. She's a PhD. These are her archetype cards, and there's a link in the description box as well about her lecturing about the 3 levels of power. There are chakras involved. We're going to be doing that. Every sign gets it's a 12-card spread. They all get the same 11 cards from certain decks, but the 12th card comes from a wild card, if you will, that I choose intuitively before we go here, and we are doing the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, because something just felt like a little spell, a little something from the ancestors there. So the idea is that you bring 1 into alignment, 1 level of power, work, career, vocation. It shifts all of them. But we're looking at your life purpose, what you signed up to do, essentially, to develop certain powers, to do certain things, create certain things in your work, how you survive, in your career, how you create, and in your vocation, your life calling. It's a lot more than that. Let's see what comes out of my mouth. The guides tend to do the explanation as needed. So I think that's enough explanation. Except to say we're gonna be doing some alchemy here with Lord Ganesha to remove some alchemical atoms in between lead and gold. I'm sure that'll come out of my mouth, and we are ending with a Matt Kahn healing mantra to give you something to kind of focus on. Reason, season, or lifetime. I think that's good. To shift from explanation. to divination happens in the still point. A 2-word spell. Let's go there. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. And I will do the best that I can to help, because even cross-watchers, it's a good idea. Particularly if there's somebody at work, in your work, career, vocation, that if you're able to even apply some of this info to your own energy field, you will be learning reason, season, or lifetime, and as a result, benefiting from whatever's going on in your work, career, vocation. Yeah, that's good. Please take a nice deep breath. The checklist changes every time, because everything she touches and everything she touches changes. Still point. Yes, indeed. And here we go, Pantheonic Override. Using the Caroline Mace archetype cards. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Pisces collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. I need 3 of these. What are the dominant archetypes in the 8th chakra for the Pisces collective and the cross-watchers in their work, career, and vocation? Though these cards are 8th chakra dominant, they send down the codes to all the other chakras underneath, shifting the lessons of the electromagnetic fields, what they attract and what they repel, so we no longer delay, by our own free will, what cannot be prevented to fulfill our life purpose and our work, career, vocation. So what's going on? First level of power, work. Lower 3 chakra dominant, work, but that's the 8th chakra. What's going on in our career? Heart, third eye, crown, dominant. Creative intuition, dominant. But what's going on in the 8th chakra there? And in our vocation, 8th chakra dominant, our spiritual calling, our mystical power, our spiritual power. And this time, let's work with a vocation read. I always lay them down 1, 2, 3, but I read them 3, 2, 1. So, the name of the contract, we are Midas, Miser, Beggars. We're dealing with vampires. Okay. All right. This vampire archetype thing, we'll talk about it. Let's do this. On each card is written the shadow attribute and the light attribute, right? Midas, Miser, I think, is a really obvious example of that. This is a creative family archetype. The Beggar is a wild card family archetype, as is the vampire archetype. Most people don't cell phone, so thank you so much for your input. We'll catch up later. You heard that, right? That wasn't a clairaudient episode. Okay, they happen in my line of work. So the lead, the shadow attribute is the lead, the toxicity, the stuff you don't want to deal with, the stuff you repress, that you're dealing with reason, season, or lifetime, and particularly with the vampire archetype, which we will go into. You might be learning the lessons associated with dealing with a Midas, Miser, Beggar. In other words, it can be mirroring and all that. Let's talk about it. The shadow attribute for the miser, right? So think the miser, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth, which everybody on planet Earth, except I guess for some people, don't have an obsessive fear of losing it. But I have had clients both rich and poor, the whole spectrum, and they've all had the fear of losing it, even if they had a lot, right? So this is about your vocation, right? This is about your spiritual calling. So catch this. I think this is the one that's going to do it for you. Entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. So life's riches is not all about coin, right? This could be about your spirituality, about the entrepreneurial, right? It's such a powerful word that way, because, a lot of people call themselves entrepreneurs, I don't know, but it is an archetype, at least here, that archetypal dynamic to be able to turn anything to gold, the Midas touch, right? Which is actually because of Dionysus. Careful what you wish for with a god of wine. He's such a joker. I love him. Let's talk about the Beggar. Nobody wants to get the Beggar, but as horrible as an archetype sounds, as brilliant as it is, and vice versa. Shadow attribute, dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. Now look, we're all in this together, right? So it's we all have to interdependent. Interdependence is what we're like. Codependence no more. Melody Beauty, please pick up the courtesy telephone. But you know, for sure, we have to be interdependent. We're learning how to do that still. We're collaborating with other people. Right? So you know, you do interdepend, hopefully in healthy ways as we go. But it's the exclusion of effort part that I think really typifies that. Because people may not be just begging for money or begging for this or that. They might be begging for attention. Particularly if you're dealing with vampirism. But the light of this is amazing. Confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival. So actually the lower three chakras are going to be key in this one because that's the outside world, the physical world. Awakens the spiritual authority of humility, which is knowing that you don't know, compassion, which is wisdom and love brought into one, and self-esteem, which is a verb, not a noun. Mace is big on that one, and I'm right there with her. I'm big on that. You know, have self-esteem. It's a thing. It's self-estimation. It is a verb. So very, very powerful here. Particularly, I would think that would set you up for dealing with a vampire. Now, there is a video that hopefully I will remember to put in the comment section. Witches and Vampires and Witches. A lecture I did in like 2017 at the Silver Broom in Sayville. Because I deal with so many vampires in my work-career-vocation, and yes, in my personal life, absolutely. There's a whole other different genre of fiction that became at least real in this world. So, you know, you may not be the vampire. You might be the vampire hunter. Hello, Pisces. The shadow attribute, the lead, depleting others for your psychic survival, which means you've cut yourself off to some extent, or you've pinched off the flow to the divine in some way. Depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic codeplaning. We're going to deplane together. Chronic complaining and codependency. Well, codependency no more. Again, Melody Beatty, please pick up the courtesy telephone. The light, you see now that everybody drains somebody sometime. By the way, I know Aquarius got this one because it was the last reading I did before this one. You know, it's the chronic complaining that is for me the biggest red flag to start with, right? Whether you want to slay a vampire or heal a vampire depends on whether or not you want to keep them in your life. The light attribute makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Watch the video, it's really good. No, I am I'm Buffy the Vampire Hunter, but I can also be, you know, the Archangel of Lions, vampire healer, and it's a long story, but why do you think vampires are so popular in our culture? Still, Carpe Jugulum, Terry Project Discworld, really, everything you need to know is in there, for the most part. When you start treating people like things, that's when evil begins. Yeah. Okay, woo! I am up for this because a Midas beggar vampire, the Midas in and of itself indicates that the spiritual power here is the thing that can alchemize the rest of this. Get it? Right? Turning it to gold. Let's keep going. That's as much as we talk about with these cards, except maybe for some of the bookie book reads. Lord Ganesha and the Healing Mantra have bookie books. Otherwise, everything else is just straight up. So let's do tarot. The next 4 chakras down, the internal world, the feminine energy, goddess deck, daughters of the moon tarot. If it's a major arcana card, it's the whole zone, heart, third eye, crown. But usually with the minor arcana or court cards, we can zone in on that a little bit. Now this is going to be a second level of power, career dominant, but we're going to see it holographically across the board. Please take a nice deep breath. I love this one. Still point. Goddess override. As I call upon my beloved goddesses of water, the sign of Pisces, powers of the West, please, beloved goddesses of mutable water, 3 cards in clarity, face down. Work, career, vocation, heart, third eye, crown, dynamic, internally internal for the Piscean collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. There you go, and cross watchers. watching this video, drawn to this reading. What's going on in their work with the vampire in the 8th? What's going on in their career? Oh, I know you want me to get the right one. Nope. Their career, heart, third eye crown, beggar in the 8th. Really, even self-esteem as a verb and taking action in that way. To see things differently. To know that they do not know. Going on in their career, heart, third eye crown. Thank you. And the Midas, miser, man, to be able to turn that into go particularly entrepreneurial in terms of spiritual, mystical power, life calling, doing what's never been done before. What's going on, heart, third eye crown? Pisces collector, sun, moon, rising, Venus, signs, and cross watchers in this timeless work, career, vocation, read. Piscadios. Well, they're all minor arcana, so these are things that happen, but inside. So, Midas, miser, 3 of blades is very different than the 3 of swords. In Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the keyword is focus, very third eye. Very, very, very third eye, and maybe throat, but sometimes this is like getting to the heart of the matter, and I think that's where we have a lovely crossover with the Rider-Waite-based tarot system. But you've got a maiden, a mother, and a crone putting their minds together, right? So there might even be a bit of collaboration, thinking, talking about, but spiritually, like praying together, meditating together, intending together, at least imagining together. Let's see what that looks like on the outer. Beggar in the 8th. You do have the victory card, the 7 of flames. In this is victory. Women galloping on horseback, juggling balls of fire, galloping on cooling lava, and the lava under the crust is moving in the same direction. So it really is that kind of vibrant, creative. Now, throat chakra for me usually is fire, but that could also be that feeling of victory, right, as you're doing this. So I don't get a horrible feeling about this. If anything, you're overcoming perhaps some dependence on others because there is effort. Maybe you're chewing, you're not quite spitting it out, making it into action, or swallowing it and not dealing with it. But I think you're gonna, the vampire is gonna make sense with the 4 of blades. Now, the 4 of blades in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot looks very much like the 2 of blades in the Rider-Waite, except there are 2 hidden, crossed under the bench there. So the key word on here is deception. Now, can this be self-deception? Absolutely. Can this be you're being deceived by someone who is vampiric? Possibly. The tricky part about this is that vampires can't see their own reflection, and that has narcissistic ramifications across that spectrum, the narcissist spectrum, to a greater or less degree. But do understand that let's say, what is it called? The overt narcissist is a hell of a lot easier to catch that than it is the covert or the passive, or rather than the active, right? So there's a whole pantheon of narcissists, and yes, codependence is one of the 4 ego wounds here. So we often don't want to see it. We don't want to see that someone or something is draining us, and yet that means we've been glamored. Oh, give me a vampiric language. I can translate this stuff into it because it's a wonderful, rich lore, L-O-R-E, of a rather ancient archetype on the planet, because, the words codependency did not exist thousands of years ago, but it essentially looked like this. Shut the hell up, who cares about your life dreams? We've got the harvest to pull in, or yes, you have to marry him in order for the family to have title and, whatever. Pick your lifetime. It's not new, right? People have been draining each other because we forget when we go this way. When we cut that off, pinch it off, then to survive, we got to do it this way. So everybody's done it. Everybody's somebody's sometimes so stupid, but in a fun way. So look, I think in terms also of just being a vampire hunter, this is also still the 4 of blades. Go within, third eye, soft of eye, light of touch, speaky little, listen much. Right? Meditate, rest, heal your mind, and the rest will follow. It's so in vogue. Let's go. Okay, all right. Hermes is behind my head, spinning some serious 90s vibe in my third eye, and I'm going to take that as a good sign, because honestly, I'm going to say your leverage, usually one of the 3 levels is leverage. Midas Miser, I think the spiritual power is your way through that, because honestly, I can see this moving its way down. So, if you've got the wooden stakes are really, really helpful, because once you run out of vampires, if you still have any stakes left, you can at least, barbecue. Works on humans, too. Works on the living as well as the undead. Let's get Terry Pratchett. The turtle moves. Let's get the lower 3 chakras here with the mythic tarot, based in Greek myth. Really feels like my first language, Greek mythology. Looking at the outside in, right? Looking at yourself from the inside out. You're looking at people, places, or things in your work, career, vocation. Now look, in your work, vampires at work, I mean, it's totally Colin Robinson, right? It's like what we do in the shadows. That's what I mean. The language is everywhere. It's sort of like Spirit has been like showing us this archetype in so many ways. The romantic, glistening ones, the hot ones from Louisiana, the whole 9. I'll have a side of Anne Rice with that, please. Totally into it, right? But you can develop Teflon neck syndrome. TNS, as I like to call it. Let's just get these cards on the table. I love you, Pisces. Please take a nice deep breath. I love being a Pisces moon. At least we have some more direct access to the science fiction fantasy aspect of the other dimensions. Oh, good goddess. Please take a nice deep breath. You know I love what I do. Still point. God override. As I call upon my gods of water, the sign of Pisces, powers of the West, please, beloved gods of immutable, changing water, 3 cards in clarity, please, for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. Maybe you drew them to this reading. What do we need to be aware of? Lower 3 chakras, outside and in, inside out, relationships to the world, including our relationship to ourselves, particularly with that self-esteem there. That is very solar plexus chakra. But what do you got for us? That vampire archetype at work with a 4 of blades of deception, but it's also about rest and mental healing. And, I deal with vampires all the time at work. I have been for decades. Comes with the job of being a witch sometimes. It really doesn't matter. They're everywhere. The beggar in the career. I mean, I do understand that. Sometimes, you may be dealing with a toxic work situation. You're trying to evolve your own career on the inner. But with that victory card, it's like that just gallops along with all of that molten magma. At that point, I guess it's lava. So going in the same direction. Nope. Again, this one feels it did this before with the 2nd level of power. So please, my gods. Lower 3 chakra, beggar in the 8th, victory on the inner, in the career, and the Midas Miser. This has a certain golden glow to it, certainly. In the 8th, with 3 of blades on the inner. What's going on the outer for the Pisces collective and cross watchers in this timeless work, career, vocation? A read. Well, okay, let's start down here. Midas Miser in the 8th, 3 of blades. Focus, right? Getting to the heart of the matter. 5 of swords on the outer, however, might mean that there is some communications going on here, some thoughts that might be either changing some minds or might be in conflict. Now, we do have the 4 here on the inner, so there might be a direct connection there. I would really say, in terms of the Midas Miser, there's a difference between hoarding what you're feeling about all of this. You can put up a very, very clear boundary and say, I'm working on turning this to gold. I'm trying to share my life's riches here, but getting to the heart of the matter of what that is. And so maybe there is an emotional key to this. the maiden, the mother, and the crone, it is the three. Everybody has the feminine energy inside of them. So this could very much be about uniting and focusing this in a way, because you might be dealing with some tricky conversations. Or at least fives are numbers of change, right? So a change in the air, a change in the conversation, perhaps, but one that you have the opportunity to turn to gold in an entrepreneurial way in terms of how that's going to influence the other two levels. So here's interesting. Beggar in the 8th, victory on the inner. King of Cups, the Cancerian card Orpheus. The poet, the bard genius, I mean, except he just couldn't follow directions. Yeah, ask his wife. She's not thrilled. With that beggar, very, very powerful and ancient archetype. There have always been beggars on the planet, and remember, we're not only just talking about money, right? There's so much more to that. That exclusion to effort thing, I don't think that's necessarily going on in you with that victory. This, if it's you from the outside looking in, we're looking at cardinal water, Cancerian here, very much at home in your own skin, emotionally perhaps reserved. Cancerians are not always overt in what they're feeling, not as much as Scorpios. But there is creative water here. So if this is you dealing with somebody else, that, in other words, you from the outside looking in at another person, regardless of whether they have Cancerian placements, because not everybody knows all their signs. I do, but not everybody does. And you got to know your birth time to know your rising sign. So a lot of people don't even know their birth time. That's just how it is. So if we just take this purely as you saying, no, I am creating, but Cancerian can also be very gestative, right? The mother of the zodiac, amniotic fluid. And I know I've got some Piscean doulas out there. Hi, sweetheart. Hey, my love. Make her giggle, and I love that. Patreon, one of my goddesses on Patreon. I got a couple over there, actually. So, this thing, I'm going to really say, even though this very much feels like some spiritual leverage, there's something here about humility awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. I feel like this is very, very healthy. I think this is a conversation that needs to be had. Midas miser, maybe even just within yourself, conflicting information, perhaps a change of mind, in order to deal with. Where do you get this? All right, the vampire. All right, you ready? Okay, 4 of Swords. All right, maybe I'm not seeing this clearly. Maybe I'm being deceived. Maybe I'm deceiving myself. Well, with Hecate, goddess of the moon, a goddess of the moon, to me, the crone of the crossroads, right? The goddess, one of the Cathana goddess of the underworld, the moon card. But we're Pisces. Do not listen to what others say. Listen to what is going on in the lower 3 chakras. It's our only major arcana card that they might be glamoring away. There might be a lot of deception going on. Reason, season, or lifetime. And I don't get that this is you. Not with this. Now, for me, major arcana cards are places. And I don't necessarily mean physical, geological, on Google Maps locations. But places, right? Stages that we go through here. You're going to have to really, really, really trust all 3 chakras. And the language of those 3 chakras, Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Mace. Trust me, you will not, you won't regret looking into that. And there's lots of videos on YouTube of her talking about that stuff too. But that's survival intuition. Your survival in your work really does depend upon you tapping in, knowing that you don't know on the outside. That's why that humility is, I don't know, can't see, I don't know if I'm being deceived or not. It's okay. It's a good vampire if you don't know, which means that you're being leveled up. Just like a video game, right? You're going to beat the boss on the level. But if you want to heal them, or if you just want them gone, right? Slay them, then, there's a difference between Vampire Diaries and True Blood, in my opinion. Oh, Bill. Oh, Eric. Shall we? We're going to put this together in a little bit. because we've still got 3 more cards to hit the table. I think we're going to need this one big time. Whispers of Lord Ganesha. 3 atoms in between lead and gold on the periodic table that cannot be created or destroyed, only changed, transformed, transmuted, released, which brings relief. So the Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, success, prosperity, work, career, vocation, that clicks, but also to help remove those obstacles. And I've had a relationship for many, many years since I started the company during the Circle Productions with Lord Ganesha. I think I've gotten away with a lot because of his help. But, you know, you got to ask. Please take a nice deep breath. And he's a lot of fun. One more. Nice deep breath. Still point. Ganesha over. As I call upon the beloved Lord Ganesha, God of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, please, beloved one card in clarity for the Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video, who maybe you called to this reading. What is your guidance, your grace, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message to help the Pisces and the cross-watchers alchemize the shadow to light, the lead to gold, the pain to peace, the toxic to healthy in their work, career, vocation, particularly with vampire in their work, beggar in their career, but Midas, miser in their vocation. Your guidance, your grace, your love, your wisdom, your power to help us fulfill our life purposes in this timeless work, career, vocation read. Belonging. It's definitely about dealing with other people. But Ganesh here is seen riding a mouse, which is symbolic for the ego. Now, belonging, very high on Maslow's pyramid of fulfillment. I will say that. I forget if it's the peak. I know it's up there. It may not be the very tip of the pyramid, just the tip. Let's have a read. Here, I'll read this to you. I'm putting this under your first level of power. It's supposed to hit all 3, but I've been noticing it really does speak to each level of power that it's laid under. Card number 41, belonging. Learn to find security from within. Oh, I think we've got that on the table here, particularly second level of power, right? In this card, Ganesha uses the mouse as his vehicle, which signifies his triumph over the ego. The ego. Yeah, we just renamed it. Let's not run with that. In Hindu mythology, the mouse symbolizes the ego. For the ego can eat away at all that is good and decent in a person. A little Renfield Viberino going on there. Belonging seeks to solve the predicament of the ego's own perceived separation. Since the ego has no conscious memory of its connection to others and to source, so you disconnect yourself from source, you really can't be. But that's what creates vampires. And everybody's done it. This life or another. Cope. You experience a need to get out of seclusion by bonding with the people around you. These people can be your family, peer groups, or your community. Ego is neither good nor bad, neutral, essential, just like the archetypes. But the ego is neither good nor bad. It is a necessary part of you in this existence. The ego can manifest inclinations that are either more positive or more negative in nature. There are many positive aspects to belonging. You develop your ability to love, connect, bond, share, and care for others. You see yourself more clearly through the mirror of relationship. It is important in belonging that you not try to seek approval through others. Through this card, Ganesha is here to help you focus on the positive feelings from being part of a community. Learn to trust, ask for help, and to rely on others. Well, then I'm going to say that there's a vampire in the corporation. what are the chances there aren't, right? Or the situation, right? The situationship and this relationship. I doubt this is romantic. But the thing is with the moon, shit is hidden. Shit is hidden, right? The moon on the outer there. So belonging might be really, really tricky. Yeah, it's popping up back here, getting to like what's really important. What is the heart of the matter here? Where is the entrepreneurial opportunity for me here, right? While the discussions are going on. Interesting. Now, our wild card, as I said, is coming from the Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. I use it for the element of fire and the 5-card draws, but it called to me, and it's the ancestors. The deck is wicked blessed, I should say, wonderfully, wickedly blessed, to the ancestors of magic, miracles, and mysticism. No bookie book. Let's see what the spell fragment is. Let's give it a shot. Please take a nice deep breath. This is always a fun one. Still point. Ancestral override. As I call upon the ancestors of magic, of miracles, and of mysticism, for the Pisces collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers, who watching this video, who you called to this reading, beloved ancestors, what is the spell fragment to help us alchemize our shadow to light, our lead to gold, our pain to peace, our toxic to healthy? Our poverty to prosperity, our perdition to paradise, our enslavement to freedom, our hell to heaven, in our life purpose, fulfilling what we came here to do, in our work, career, vocation, in a Midas, miser, beggar, vampire contract, in this timeless work, career, vocation read, healing. Candle flame, burn this hour, bring to me your healing power. And you know what? You got one fire card on here, and sure enough, right in the second level of power. So there is a magical application to this. Now, again, you can light a candle for anything. You know, fire magic for surezies. But you know, the wording of this, candle flame, burn this hour. Got an hour? Once a week? Every day. I do candle magic every day. There's a candle lit right under here. You can't see it. Because it helps me focus, right? It helps me stay in alignment, particularly with the camera. Like, where's the flame? Where I am. The flames on the sides of my face. Bring to me your healing power. This is going to keep your momentum going. And it's going to keep you... This is probably you from the outside looking in. Yes, a water sign, not a Pisces. But perhaps, oh, no, I'm fine, thank you. I can't see any of the crabs don't walk right towards you this way. They go, I was raised by one. I know. I know. But there is also, let's not forget Orpheus. Look up Orpheus. You're just horrible at following directions. For once, could you just follow directions? But, you know, created a mystery school, the whole Orphic thing about descent into the underworld and back. I mean, it's a little rough, Orpheism, but, you know, do your best. But certainly to know that you do not know, and that compassion, because everybody is suffering in some way, shape, or form. Everybody's fighting a hard battle. Be kind. That's a paraphrase. So particularly with belonging, with healing, it might be that all you can do is, well, with vampires, all you can do is just heal yourself, remove the obstacles to the light that's already divine within you, and it just fries them. I call it pop the tick. It's like, oh, you're going to drain me? Oh, you're a vampire. You're going to chip a tooth, and I'm going to blow you up, right? Heart chakra bomb. Little arrows of forgiveness like toothpicks and rubber bands. From a distance, I forgive you, you crazy bitch. I forgive you, asshole. Yeah, whatever. Bite my neck. Good luck. You break a tooth. All right, so healing, but you know, hey, I'm not wearing bombshell Wonder Woman for nothing. You do not want to come for me, man. Oh, wear that tiara around my neck. Okay, look, I just did a sound effect. Okay. Last card down, God help us. I wonder if Matt Kahn gets a little like, what was that? Whenever I do this. I hope he does, and I hope he likes it. Because I love it. I love him, and I love this card. A mantra, just one of them, to kind of hopefully tie it all together here. but particularly spiritual, mystical power for vocation will probably come in handy. I love what I do. Please take a nice deep breath. Relax and still point. Ascended Master Override. As I call upon the beloved Ascended Masters of life, purpose, and soul contracts through work, career, and vocation, please. Beloved ones, one card in clarity, the perfect healing mantra. For the Pisces collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers to alchemize their shadow to light, their lead to gold, their pain to peace, their toxic to healthy, to manifest the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wise life purpose through work, career, vocation in this Midas, miser, beggar, vampire, belonging, healing, work, career, vocation read. That one popped right out. Encountering conflicts. I don't choose sides. I take a stand. Strategery. Woo! I have used this a lot. I don't choose sides. I take a stand. It's about active listening. And honestly, if you don't have to prostitute yourself, you don't have to get bitten. You just need to stand your ground, but in a loving way. Yeah, watch the video, Vampires and Witches. Encountering conflict, I don't choose sides. I take a stand in the sunlight. Try to bite me. When conflict is encountered, two opposing viewpoints wrestle for a dominant position. I'm going to bite you. I don't want you to, but I'm going to bite you. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Right? A big difference. Each hopes to achieve success by changing the other's viewpoint. If encountering conflict from a conscious standpoint, you may realize one of the greatest gifts you can offer is allowing others to be heard. Just heard. Like active listening. You may not agree with their argument. But you are embracing their needs simply by choosing to listen. When you listen instead of lash out, you're taking a stand for love. You don't have to choose sides. I take a stand. It's like trying to bite the sun. Oh, you might as well be walking on the sun. This is making the decision to anchor the higher frequencies of light through the demonstration of your ethics, morals, and values instead of matching the unconsciousness of others with equal amounts of aggression. So yeah, I guess actually the literal, wooden stake is probably not good, right? Maybe get them a really well done steak and chew on that. Or rare, yeah, and throw it in the corner and walk away. This mantra is ideal for settling arguments, unraveling passive-aggressive behavior. Ooh, my second chakra will tell me the moment that shit's going on now. And releasing the tendency to blame, because the truth is somebody bit them. And the way to heal a vampire, it's in the video, but I'll tell you now, is you have to kill the vampire that sired them, that bit them. What if they're already dead? Could be a parent, could be, it's all within. And in other words, nobody gets bitten without it being in a contract, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Because codependency is one of the 4 ego wounds: abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss. And if we heal that a little bit, then we can belong in a healthy way. And encounter conflict, taking a stand for love. That's freaking brilliant. And so, you know what? That's your alchemy. That's your alchemy. That's how you turn this situation into gold. Arguments, conflict. You know what you should do? Why don't you cut your hair and get a real job? I tried it in other lives. Trust me. This is the fun version. This is the life that I signed up for, I think. Know that I don't know. Oh, I ain't begging. No. Because I save my begging to the divine directly. Because I am a Virgo, Sun, and Leo rising. Yeah, I do have a private life, believe it or not. I know, hard to believe. All right, so we're going to put this together in a blessimation. And bless the crap out of this for us Pisces and our cross watchers. And then the reading's over, but if you want to hang out for the last little bit, we've been making some cool changes and some good opportunities enjoying the circle. Now our 25th year well underway, and honestly, Work-Career-Vocation, and I apply this stuff. You know I will be applying this in moving forward. Absolutely I will, particularly the spell, the mantra, and Ganesh, because hopefully I'll see the vampires a coming. Garlic choices ready. Please take a nice deep breath. Van Helsing position. Granny weather wax. Still point. Pantheonic override. As I call upon the beloved pantheons of the divine for the beloved Pisces, collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video and who are drawn to this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need, with all that we need in our vocation to embrace our entrepreneurial and creative abilities to turn anything to gold with a delight in sharing life's riches, like blowing people up with our joy, but getting to the heart of the matter, by really focusing on the inner. A focus, not necessarily a meditation, but really getting incisive on the inner, particularly maybe choosing, oh yeah, no, I'm not going to take sides. I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to focus on that mantra in a conversation that might be going on, trying to change minds, or maybe just minds just are changing, so that as we encounter conflict, we don't have to choose sides. We could take a stand for love. And that in our career, particularly our creative energy is indicated here, that we can confront empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakening the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and the verb of self-esteem, because there is this galloping victory inside of us. We have momentum going on. It is a good thing. Yes, Seven of Wands, a relatively defensive card, but also can mean jumping the hurdles, keep going, you've got the momentum going, which of course, this is us from the outside looking in with that Cancerian vibe, or maybe we're dealing with a mothering type of vibe from the inside out, outside in, or mirroring with the King of Cups. Orpheus, very deep, but very creative, so that we can bring to it this magic, this creative spell, a healing, a candle flame, burn this hour, bring to us our healing power, particularly dealing with vampire, singular or plural, got a nest of them, that we be made aware that someone or something is draining our life force, and that can be an entire industry, a corporation, anything, can be anyone or anything. So let us have our eyes cleared. Let us see beyond our delusions. Let me see beyond the deceptions, because maybe we have been glamored, and that would make sense, particularly if things are foggy. So regardless of what we think is going on here, hence needing to take a stand for love and just listen. We'll hear it. We'll be guided in the moment, certainly in the lower three chakras, to be sort of our alert systems, to say that something is draining our energy field here, particularly so that we can belong in a healthy way when encountering conflict. There we go. In our work, career, vocation, that we can be the happiest. Give us what we need, that we can be the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest versions of ourselves, manifesting our life purpose in our work, career, vocation, for our well-being, for the well-being of our loved ones, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none. Thank you, beloved pantheons. As we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is. It was a good reading, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, hit the thumbs up. Help the other fishy family find it, for certain. And if you want more of me, subscribe. I'm not stopping anytime soon, apparently. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when the next one's coming out, and comment. I do love a comment section, and usually my Pisces can be a little chatty and safe space here. All that just helps other fishies find it. But on Patreon, we don't have algorithms or logarithms. Nah, it's not my thing. Whatever. You sign up for one of my levels on Patreon, you get everything on that level of subscription since the day I started it until I croak or retire. Could be the same day, most likely will be. Because I love what I do in my work, career, vocation. So yeah, check it out. Come Patreon on Patreon, because yeah, you get the extended readings, you get the daily check-ins, but you also get a significant discount. Even at $3, you get the same discount as the $20 God Goddesses, booking private sessions with Mal. So that is one of the 4 new videos I did for the 25th anniversary. Booking private sessions with Mal includes readings, yes, but also includes spiritual counseling and eventually hands-on healing should I ever go back to it. I'm just not doing it right now. I don't feel like traveling it or renting space to do it. Nope. But like I said, my patrons get a significant discount. There's all sorts of things that we can do with it. Yes, I raised my prices, but I've never turned anybody away because of money. I always work something out. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm here to serve. So you come, you ask if you need my help. And remember, most of all, I love you. I love Pisces. I love being a Pisces. And I think, we're the empaths of the universe sometimes. So to be able to do the healing, a sense of belonging, right? To kind of just keep swimming, but maybe in a school rather than so low as it can be at times. So, watch out for the vampire fish. You let me know you need some help. I'm really, really good at this stuff. So, wishing you the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest work, career, vocation, my beloved fishy family. Hang in there. Heal. Hail. Farewell. And blessed, blessed be.